Hey, welcome back to the channel. Today we have something a little bit different. Um, if you'll see the title of this one, it's called the Wrogn core. Um, I don't know, you've probably seen some of the cracking the cryptic ones back in the day, or not too far back in the day, but where we had Wrogn puzzles, R-O-G-N, where essentially something within the rule sets was different than it would normally be. I'm assuming that's what this is. So I thought I'd give it a try and see what I can do with it. Again, it's called the Wrogn core by Wuck, W-U-C. Let's jump into these rules and see where things go Wrogn. So we've got standard Sudoku rules apply. The digits 1 through 9 appear in every row, column, and box, as I usually denote in mine. So box 5. The 3x3 box in the center is fully infected by false information. All clues in box 5 are wrong, meaning not entirely correct. All clues outside box 5 are correct. So what does that mean? Essentially, well, if you don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is box 5 right here, or region 5, however you want to look at it. What that means is that all of the clues that are currently shown in this box are in some way lying. They don't have correct information. So normally this would be a two-cell killer cage, let's say, that equals up to 6. Well, these two cells cannot add to 6 because therefore this killer cage would be correct. But we've been told that this box in this region here, that none of these clues are correct. Same would go for like the thermo, the V's, the X's, and the Renban lines. You couldn't have a consecutive set of digits on the Renban line because that would be correct, where it actually is wrong. These can't equal 5, these can't equal 5, these can't equal 10, etc., etc. So that's what the Wrogn core is. Now, for the other actual, both, it's, I guess when you look at it, the rule sets that are following are both positive and negative constraints in this puzzle, depending on where in the puzzle we are looking. So everything outside of box 5, they're positive constraints, meaning whatever the rules are telling you are the correct rules. And when you're inside box 5, they are considered like a negative constraint where what they are saying is not correct. I guess that's maybe the easiest way to describe it, if that makes sense to you all. So for arrows, XV-Dominoes, the killer cage, thermometers, and the Magenta Renban Lines, common rules apply. So arrows. Arrows, digits along an arrow must sum to the number indicated in the circle from which the arrow emerges. Digits may repeat along arrow if allowed by other rules. So what this means is that this is an arrow. This is its circle. These 3 digits, when added together, will equal whatever is in this circle. And because the arrow clue allows for digits to repeat, it just means that they can repeat within this arrow. They cannot repeat in a way that would break one of these boxes. Now for XV-Dominoes, we have cell separated by X must sum to 10. So any of these 2 digits add to 10. Cell separated by V must sum to 5. V, so these 2 equal 5. Not all X's and V's are necessarily given, so there's not a negative constraint on that specific one. We've got killer cages. Digits in cages cannot repeat and must sum to the upper left corner of the cage. Now there's only one killer cage, and we've already stated that it is a Wrogn clue. So therefore, the rule of the killer cage is being shown to demonstrate what you cannot make it actually add up to. So digits in cages cannot repeat and must sum to the value shown in the upper left corner of the cage. With that, again, as I said previously, it would normally mean that these 2 digits would equal 6. Sorry, I just got a text message, as usual when I start recording. But that cannot be the case because we're in box 5. Thermometers, digits on thermos are strictly increasing from bulb to tip. So normally, this would be the lowest digit, this would be the highest digit, this is the bulb, this is the tip. Again, we're in box 5, so these are Wrogn clues. Renban line usually shown as purple lines. Digits along a Renban line must form a set of non-repeating consecutive digits in any order. Again, these that would mean that these would be like 1, 2, 3, 4 in any given order. But remember that we're in box 5. One moment, I need to look at this text because it Okay, sorry about that. It was work related and I had to take that, or had to reply to it. Anyway, sorry. Let's get back to, so those are all the rules. And that's, like we said, we've got to remember that box 5 does not, or has its own limitations. The rest of them are normal Sudoku rules. And then the columns, rows, and box rule of the normal Sudoku still applies to every box. The only issues are when you have a clue within this region. So enough of the explanations. I've already been at it for like 5 minutes or so, but this one does take a little bit more thought and consideration because you're having, sorry about that, phone's still on. You're having the Wrogn section to go with. So let's get into this puzzle and stop blabbing about. So where can we start? And that's a good question because there's supposedly a lot of information and there's also not a lot of information because we would be able to normally look at this and make a ton of deductions, but we can't do that at this point, I don't believe. Now, the couple of things we can think about, like I said previously, these two digits can never equal 6. This digit can never be lower than this digit because it's on a thermo, so the only way to make it a Wrogn applicable clue is that this digit, which is at the bulb, actually has to be higher than the digit on the tip. Same for these. These two can't equal 10. These two can't equal 5. These two can't equal 5. And these can't be consecutive. Now, on the Renban, it doesn't mean that you can't have 3 of the 4 be consecutive, but you must have at least one that is not. Otherwise, the clue is accurate, which it can't be. All right, so I think maybe arrows, because I mean, there's a little bit that we can do with these. My phone is blowing up. Sorry about that. So what's the bare minimum I guess we can do on some of these arrows? And some of these will be more beneficial than others. Like this one right here is practically, I'm not going to say worthless, but it doesn't give us much information because these could both be a 1 and this could be a 2. So there's almost nothing limiting this. This one, these could all be 1s. Well, technically it can't because of the XV collision of clues here that are accurate clues because they're in boxes 1 and 2. But looking at the arrow itself, these could all be 1s and this could be a 3. Now here, the only thing we can really say is these could be, the bare minimum, they could be 1 and 2, which is 3, and then this could be a 1 and this could be a 1, so that's 4 and 5, so that doesn't help a lot either. Now, maybe we do need to go look at this arrow clue and look at how these interact with each other, because we know, well, what do we know about XVs and Vs? That's the best place to look at the, and we're going to have some instances where we have that. So on a V, there's only 2 ways to make 5, and it's 1, 4, and 2, 3. Now, when you have a V that's connected or interlaced with an X clue, what you have is that you know the V clues are all low digits, so they're all between 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now, if we know that this is a low digit, 1, 2, 3, 4, this must be a high digit. So we can, I'm going to mark these in here, and I'll do it for all of these ones that are connected to, oops, I went the wrong way on that one, these, just so we can take a look at each one individually. So we started up here, let's stay up here. Now this digit here, because, and without looking at the arrow just yet, we know this is a low digit. So the only way to make a 10 from a low digit is to have this be a high digit, like I said. So this has to be from 6, 7, 8, or 9. Well, it can never be a 9, because then what would you put here? This would be 9. These would both have to be 0, and this have to be 9. Similarly, you can't put an 8 here, because these would both have to be 1 as the lowest they could be, and you'd end up with 10. So we can get rid of some options. Now that we've gotten this down to 6, 7, we can go back to this X clue here and say this cannot be 1 or 2. Now, if this has to be 3 or 4, this cannot be 3 or 4. So you get this kind of oscillation, I guess, when looking at them. And I think we can probably do the same thing here. No 9, no 8. In fact, we can go even further, I think, with this one, because the most this can possibly be is a 1, 2 pair. or the least it can be, apologies, is a 1-2 pair, which is 3. Well, what can this be then? This can't be 7, because if I have a 1-2 pair and a 7, that equals 10. So this is a 6, which is going to give us a 4, and it's going to give us a 1, and it's going to give us a 2. Now that we have that 4 sitting here, we can poke up here and say this is not a 1-4 pair, it's a 2-3 pair. We can also say that this is 9 and this is 1 to get us started. Now, this, because it's on X, this has to be from 7 or 8. Can we do anything with this digit here before we start looking back at this one? If we know this is 2 or 3 at the bare minimum, so it's either 2 or 3. There's not a bare minimum, it's either 2 or 3. So this digit is to equal 7 would either be 4 or 5. It can't be 4 because we have a 4 there. And to make 8, it would have to be 5 or 6. So it's either a 5 or a 6. And we can't quite determine that because there's nothing looking at it just yet. Now, this X clue is slightly interesting because we know we can't have a 2 or 3 here. So therefore, it's either going to be a 9-1 to create 10, or it's going to be a 5-4. Now, I don't know which one it is yet, so I think we'll wait till we get a little bit more information until we get into that. Now, looking back here at this arrow, we've already got a 6 or a 7 on the line. So let's do worst case scenario, it's a 7. Well, then these would both have to be 1s. If that was, and that would be a 9. But if that was the case, this would be a 7, this would be a 1, this would have to be a 4. Wait, yeah, and then 4 does not match up with 7. So this is going to have to be 6, this is going to have to be 4, this is going to have to be 1. And now we've got 7 already. So this is either 1 or 2. And this is either 8 or 9. Okay, now, is there any, well, here we do have a little something down here now. So we know that this V clue, which I almost didn't see because it's on the straddling this line, it kind of blended in a little bit to me. Even though it can't be a 4 or 1 clue because we have a 1 here. So this is a 2-3 clue. Now, we know that there's a 1 here. So the bare minimum now of these can be is 2-3, which is 5. Then we can go 1 to 6 and 1 to 7. Well, we can't go 1 to 7, actually, because there's a 1 looking at it. So we can go 2-3, which is 5, 1, which is 6, plus 2, which is 8. So this has to be either 8 or 9. And this is going to have to be 2 or 3. I don't think we can ever get 4 yet, because we just said this is a minimum of 5. So if this was a 4, well, it can't be a 4 anyway, but if it was a 4, that would already be 9, and we'd still have this digit here. So this is either 2 or 3, which means this is 2 or 3, because 2, 3 equals 5. So this is a 1. Now that that's a 1, this has to be an 8. This has to be a 7. This is a 3. This is a 2. This is a 5. And we've got a bunch of information going. Now this 2 over here is going to see this, so this is 3 and 2. And where else can we go? So we said, let's put these options in. So we've got 5 here. This could be 1 or 2, right? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 would be the maximum it could be. This could be 2, 3, or 4 technically. Because if this is 4 and this was 2, that's 6 plus 7 plus 2 is 9. So these are all possibilities now that we can have. We've gotten into a pretty good chunk of this puzzle so far. Now, I still can't do anything with this 9-1 or 5-4 because we haven't got quite a bit of information. The only thing we've received is that this can't be a 1. So if it was a 1-9, that would be a 1, that would be 9 there, but that's not all that useful. So can we start doing some Sudoku? And I think we can because I see a bunch of 1s looking in here. So we can't have 1s in any of these digits. So where does the 1 go? It has to go here. Now, we know neither of these can be 4 because we are in the Wrogn core. So none of these can be 4. These can't be 4. these can't be 4, so this is 4. Now, if this is 4, this has to be lower than 4, because this is a bulb, this is a tip. Normally, the bulb is the lowest, the tip is the highest, but we're in the Wrogn core, so this has to be below 4. So it's either 2 or 3, because it can't be 1. Now, the 2, 3 there works perfectly fine in our V clue, because, well, actually, let's look at the 6 clue. I just saw that the cage was there again. This cannot be a 2, because therefore this would equal 6, so this has to be 3. There we go. Now, what can these... do we even want to get into this yet? Boy, oh boy, it needs to stop buzzing at me. We can get rid of a 4 here, so that's good. So we do have a 5 here. So we're at a 7 total now, so it's either 1, 2 to get us to 8. Doesn't look like we have anything telling us otherwise. Is there anything else looking into this box? And there is. We've got 2s looking at all of this, so this has to be a 2. So therefore we have our 3 and our 2, and this then has to be a 2, and this has to be a 1. So there we go. We're going to get 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and we can put that digit in. Okay. Now, should we continue to look at Sudoku? Yes, because we can get a 2 here. Then we get a 2 here. And we get a 2 here. How about the 1s? One of these is a 1. One of these is a 1. And that's pretty much all we're really going to get out of that. So we did 2s, they're done. 3s, are we going to get anything good there? Yes, we do. We get a 3 right here, which is going to give us a 3 in these two. We've got a 3 down here by Sudoku. We've got a 3 down here by Sudoku. We've got a 3 here by Sudoku and a 3 here by Sudoku. So our 3s are done as well. Good. Can we just continue with our 4s? We might as well, because we got a 4 here. We're going to have a 4 in one of those two. I'll refrain for the moment from doing that. It doesn't look like we have anything more for 4s and 5s. We've got really nothing there to go with 6s. We have a little bit on 6s we can mark up. They're not going to be super helpful, I don't think, at this point. Yeah, I don't see anything. And then 7s, we don't really have anything. 8s, we don't have much of anything. We could mark a couple of things, but they're not really useful. And we know 8's on one of these, and that's might come into handy with our Renban line. And we should probably actually look at that, because we already know 1, 2, 3, and 4 are out. So what has to go on this Renban line right now? So our options are 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. That's 5 digits. We cannot have 4 digits being consecutive on this line. So we can't, so what I'm trying to say is we can't put a 5 here, because if we put a 5 here, that would leave 6, 7, 8, and 9 on the Renban, and it would break the puzzle. So we have to have a 5 on the Renban. We have to have an 8 on the Renban, because we've already proven that. Can we go further with it? We can't put a 6 here, because that would cause this. So we have to have a, let's put these, we got 5, 6, and 8 right now. Have to go on the Renban. We cannot put a 7 now on it, because that would create a consecutive set of digits. So therefore, we are looking at 5, 6, 8, and 9. So you're not 8, you're not 9, and you're not 8. All right. I did write all those in just because it is what it is, but we can actually look at this row and determine that the 5 can't go over here, so it has to go in here as well. So let's get rid of our 5s. So we have a 6, 8, 9 triple now, and we've got some things we can continue to work with. So we've got, over here we have to have 6 and 9. There's a 6 right here, so this is 9 and 6. These two digits have to be from 7 and 8. There's nothing looking at them just yet. this 689 gives us our 6 up here, which is going to give us a 9 over here. These two digits have to be from 7 and 5, and they are still open to the world. Okay, where else do we have some pinch points? Still don't think we can do anything up here yet. This will probably be our final defining moment for determining what the final puzzle is. So we've got some new information. What do we get? Some more of 5s. Well, we know 5 can't go on an X. It says a little something, but it doesn't quite remove enough from this region. What about this region? Because we only have 3 left. We need to put a 5, 6, and 9 in it. Now, this can't be 9. This can't be 5. But other than that, no bueno. What about this row? We have to put 5, 6, and 9. That's the only ones left in this row, or column. I said row like a dummy. 5, 6, or 9. We can't put a 9, we can't put a 6, so this has to be 5. So therefore, that's not 5. Therefore, this is 5. Now, we've got those. Okay. Trying to find the next area that seems the most likely to give me something. And I'm not sure which one it is. So we'll continue, I guess, with our columns and see if there's anything down here. These have to be from 4, 6, and 8. Not enough doing, in my mind. What about down here? There has to be a 7 down here, because there's no 7 in the column yet. Now, was there anything... And one of these has to be a 4 in the same vein. Was there anything... Oh, let's look at this thermo. I didn't recognize it for a second. This is a 7. Therefore, this can never be higher than 7. Otherwise, this thermo would be correct. So this is 6. This is 8. And this is 9. That's 9 and 6. These have to be from 7 and 8 now. And these have to be from 4 and 6. And 6 is right there. So 4 and 6. And that'll finish the 6. Well, it won't finish the 6s, will it? Yes, it will, because I have to put a 6 up here. And therefore, I know this is a 4. So it didn't actually give me the final information, but it gave me a way to finish those. Let's finish off. It looks like we're going to be pretty much done with these Sudokus. I just got to get all the digits placed in properly. Nope, the 1s are not done. 2s are done. 3s are done. 4s are done. 5s might be done. It does appear like they're going to go in that way. 5s, yes, let's go down here now. We've actually got a digit we can just place without having to do our Sudoku. Our 7s and our 8s in there. Can we finish our 5s? 5s? What am I, Gollum already? 5s. Those are the 5s. These are the 6s. 7. Yeah, we can put a 7. No, I can't do that. My eyes deceived me. Good thing I caught that. This is an 8. That's a 7 and an 8. So I can probably finish most of our 7/8s, if not all of them. 8s are done. Can 7s be done? 7. Now I can put a 7 over here. This has to be a 9. Let's go see what we've done with 7s. 7, 7, 7, 7. Okay, what do we got left? We need to have a 9 here and a 1 here. So this is a 1 and a 9. We are left up here with a 9 and a 1. And there we go. You solved the puzzle. That is correct. So that was the Wrogn core. I hope you guys enjoyed, guys and gals, of course, enjoyed a Wrogn puzzle. It's one I've not done before, just because I haven't seen one come up in quite some time, to be honest with you. I've done them in the past before I started making videos and all that kind of stuff, but they are quite fun to do. particularly in this instance where it wasn't the entirety of the puzzle. Sometimes when you have the entirety of the puzzle that has the Wrogn rule sets, it can get a bit overwhelming or complicated. But this one I thought it was really well done in its not brevity, but in its concentration of those rules to the middle section. So WC Walk, thank you again for this puzzle. Excellent. I enjoyed it. I hope you all did, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks.